Well, hey everybody, I'm Sam. I'm a student of the Bible. I'm a pastor. I've been a pastor for 22 years, and I'm a writer. And my training involves biblical studies, theology, and biblical languages. So I'm going to do something very different than I've done on this channel before. As a pastor, I lead a team of people, right, at my church, and so we've been going through a book that I read. Or that I saw, and that I was like, oh, this might be a good, thing to go through at my church. And I'm gonna talk about the book. I'll show you what the book is, talk about it, and I'm gonna tell you why it was valuable. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you some of the funny things about the book. Okay, so the book is this book right here. It's by Craig Groeschel. It's called Lead Like It Matters, and he talks about in the book basically there's these different things to show that if your church has it or not. Yeah, it's kind of like a follow-up to a book he wrote back in the 2006, 7, 8, 9 range, somewhere around there. It also comes with this little workbook that you can get with it. So I hadn't read it yet, and I was in the thick of reading some very academic stuff. And I went from the biblical academic stuff to the Craig Groeschel book, and it was like whiplash, because the Craig Groeschel writes very differently than an academic writes. And so I just got so used to it. I was reading church fathers and that kind of stuff, and I was reading academic biblical scholarship stuff. And then I read, and then I said, hey, team, we're going to read this together, because I think this could spark some great conversations on our team about how we lead at our church. And I started reading it, and I was shocked by the casualness of the language. I was like, it just threw me for a loop, because like this book right here that I talked about is not written like this book at all. And so it's good. So here's what I would say. This is not going to be a book that's going to take you theologically deep. It's not going to be a book that's going to be like, this is a book about leadership, and it's a book about how you as a team can lead together at a church. And so if you are someone who leads a team, here's what I would say about this book. What you're going to get from this individually is not going to be as good as what you would get from it if you and your team read it together. So what I've loved about this is the discussions that it has sparked on our team. That we use this little workbook and we write through it, and it has some questions in it, and we use those as a springboard to talk about deeper, bigger things going on in our church and how we can really go after them. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about one of the chapters that talks about innovation and how important it is that we as leaders and at the church are willing to innovate and willing to do things. And so it's just fascinating to me how, like, the chapter, you read it and you're like, okay, whatever, but you get to the conversation with your team and see how that sparks something in your team. And so if you are someone who leads a team, whether it's at a church, this would really go well with if you're like a pastor at a church or whatever and leading a team at a church, or if you're like a youth pastor and you lead a team of volunteers, this might be a really good book for you. If you're someone who like is in the business world and you like Bible stuff, and that's why you're watching my channel, and you lead a team, but you're not sure how this is gonna affected. There's some good things in there. You can kind of take it and kind of make it a 1-for-1, but it's really kind of church related. So anyway, thought I would just kind of talk about that. That's kind of a fun thing. So it's Craig Groeschel's Lead Like It Matters. It's a great book if you have a team and you want to lead a team and lead a discussion that's going to go deeper. The book itself may stay really surfacey, but your conversations can go deeper, and that's what I've experienced, and it's been great. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm going to jump back into Genesis tomorrow, and we're going to do Genesis 10 tomorrow. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.